Hello and welcome to this quick video on the top 5 electronic business card strategies that get results fast. So I'm going to go through this and give you all the meat and potatoes, not a whole lot of fluff at all. So go ahead and sit back for a quick couple minutes and I'll go ahead and get you this information right away. Now, first of all, let me just tell you who I am. Just give you a little bit of background on what I've done and what I do and what this whole thing is all about. First of all, my name is Roscoe Hunter, and what you really need to know are just a few resume items. Well, first of all, I'm a business marketing strategist. I've owned several businesses over my adult life. I've also worked for small businesses, Fortune 500 companies, even a Fortune 100 company actually, and the federal government. I've also been involved in several business startups over the last decade, and I've been a coach, I've been a consultant, and I've been a mentor for a number of people, dozens, over my career. So the thing that I really want you to know and understand more than anything else is that I have a tremendous amount of passion for helping others succeed. It's just one of those things that I've always wanted to do since I was a little boy, actually. If you know anything about my story, you'll understand a little bit about what my motivations are, but that's not what this video is about. So let's get off and get right into these electronic business card strategies. So the very first one is, and we're going to start at the fifth one and we're going to work our way up to the top one. So strategy number 5 is the quick call strategy. Now, what is the quick call strategy? Well, the purpose of this strategy is basically it's a low pressure bridge, and it builds rapport with a prospect or a potential customer, and it helps start a relationship. Now, that is the purpose of this particular strategy. So how do you use this strategy? Well, the way you use it is you use it in basically with personal meetings, with email messages, with phone conversations, text messaging, and social media. Those are the kind of the uses for this strategy in terms of how you would deploy it. Now, who is this ideal for? Well, it's ideal for sales agents, small business owners, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, anybody that really needs to talk to people and get them in a sales pipeline. I mean, this is what the quick call strategy does. And essentially how that gets set up, it's set up in a way that you would create a button on a card, as you see on the example of a electronic business card on the screen here. You would take that where it says 15-minute intro call, and you would make that a strategy session call. And you'd make it a quick call, like this. It's 15-minute intro call, but it could be a 15-minute strategy call or a 15-minute, intro call, as it's labeled there. Whatever you want to call your call, you can make it a 15-minute call. And usually that's pretty good for people that want to just kind of get to know you a little bit with no commitment or low-level commitment, to be able to find out if you're a good fit. Okay, so that's number 5, the quick call strategy. So strategy number 4 is the get quotes strategy. Now, how does this work? Well, first of all, the purpose of it is it makes it easy for prospects or customers to get quotes for what you do. Now, this doesn't apply to all business owners or all sales agents. This only applies to people that really need to get quotes before someone buys something from you. So what kind of uses would you have with this? Well, you can use it in email messaging. You can use it for email marketing, a personal meeting, social media, airdrops, NFC, which is the same as the Android version of AirDrop, which is iPhone, phone conversations, text messaging, and on your website. So again, as you can see with the example of the phone on the screen here, one of those big buttons would very easily be labeled Get Quotes today, or get a quote today, or, you know, get our latest pricing today. Whatever it is that you sell, or whatever it is that you do. So who is this ideal for? It's ideal for sales reps, small business owners, service providers, entrepreneurs. Now, again, this is great for anyone that has the potential for repeat orders. So if there's something where someone would buy something from you somewhat regularly, and it doesn't have to be every day or every week, but at least every month or two, or every quarter, or however that works, this is a great strategy to deploy with a electronic business card. Okay. So now we'll go to strategy number 3. And strategy number 3 is the email signature strategy. And some of you may be familiar with this in general, but this is a very, very effective strategy for being able to get people to connect with you. Now, the purpose of this, of course, is to make it easy for prospects and customers to engage with you in general. Even if you already have a connection with them, this is still a good way to engage them. Now, the uses for this type of strategy is primarily through email messaging. Of course, it's an email signature strategy, right? So an email message that you would send on a regular basis, you have it automatically set up to have your your business card, your link to your electronic business card in your email signature automatically done. So every time you send an email, it goes out with your email. If you do any email marketing or any mass email marketing, anything of that nature, you always want to have it as part of your signature lines for someone to be able to connect with you via that link in your signature to your electronic business card. So very effective for that. Now, who is this ideal for? Well, again, sales reps, sales agents, small business owners, service providers, entrepreneurs. This is great for anyone that has to send a lot of email. If you send a lot of email in general, this is a great strategy for you. Because if you send to prospects or customers or do any kind of mass emails or whatever the case may be, it's a great strategy to deploy your electronic business card. Okay, let's move on to strategy number 2. Now, strategy number 2 is surveying prospect strategy. Now, this strategy, and the purpose of it is something that helps you save time with qualifying and engaging the right customers and clients. Now, I don't know about you, but anytime I'm dealing with a prospect, if they're not qualified and I find that out late in the process, wow, it's such a letdown. And I'm sure if you're watching this video and you have to go through qualified prospects in order to sell what you do, you understand that feeling of, okay, I just wasted 3 or 4 days or 2 or 3 hours or an hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is. I wasted all this time with this person and they're not qualified for what I do. It costs you money to do that. So this is a great strategy for being able to save time and qualify and engage the right customers and clients. So how do you use this strategy? Well, you can use it through email messaging. You can use it through social media. You can use it through phone conversations. And you have a conversation with someone, you can point them directly to your survey. Personal meetings, you can use this on your website if you'd like to do that. And what would happen is pretty much someone could go to your card, and on your card, you can, as it is on the card on the screen here, take the survey, or you can have it describe what it is exactly you want them to do with the survey, the type of survey that would be enticing for someone that would look at your card, that may be interested in what you do. So this is ideal again for sales agents, small business owners, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs. And of course, it's a great way for anyone that has to qualify prospects before working with them. It saves you a ton of time and increases your sales ratio tremendously. All right, so that's the strategy number 2 for the electronic business card strategies. Let's go now to the number 1 strategy for electronic business cards. Now, this may not shock many of you at all, but this is the number 1 strategy for an electronic business card. It's the strategy session call strategy. Now, what's the purpose of this? It establishes your authority and allows prospects to find out how you can help them. This is the best way to do that. Particularly if you have a higher ticket item. It's not, if you're not selling, something that's like $20, and I mean, getting on the phone with someone to talk to them about a $20 product, is usually kind of waste time or waste money, because that time invested would be worth $20 to you. Now, if it's a front end product and you have back end and you have a whole funnel set up, that's a different story. But in general, this strategy works best when you have a product or service that is a significant investment, usually $300 or more. So, the uses for this, of course, you can use it through email messaging, social media, phone calls, personal meetings, and a website link to be able to get strategy session calls done and be able to get people in a position where they can get on the phone with you. And again, it's ideal for sales agents, small business owners, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs. And this is a great way for anyone that has a product or service that's above the $300 price point, as I mentioned just a moment ago. And it requires your expertise to help the prospect make a decision. If that's the type of product you have, then this strategy session call strategy is ideal for you. And again, the buttons on the sample card that we have on the screen here, one of those buttons can very easily say click here, or it doesn't have to say click here, it just says 15-minute strategy call, or just say success strategy call, or whatever the purpose is of your strategy call. You can have that right on your business card. Someone can click it, go straight to your calendar or straight to a qualifying survey, however you want to set it up, and be able to get that person on your calendar so you can have that strategy session call. See if they're a good fit, and you see if you can move to the next level. All right. So that is it for the strategies. Now, here's some of what you're going to need for an electronic business card for these strategies to work. Now, there are a ton of electronic business cards on the market. There are lots of them that pop up almost every day, different types, different styles. They use apps to share them. There's some that don't. It's a whole host of different things. But let me just tell you what you need in an electronic business card to be able to use these strategies that we just talked about. The first one, the card must be shareable without needing an app or special software. So if you can't share the card by telling someone, for instance, go to roscoehunter.biz. If I tell you that and I walk away, you can get on your phone and type it in, roscoehunter.biz, and it takes you right to my electronic business card. If you can't do something along those lines, this strategy won't work that well. These strategies won't work that well for you. The card must be integrated into your calendar. Now, most of these electronic business cards that you'll find, most of them do integrate into some type of calendar, typically. So it has to be able to do that in order for this to be effective. Thirdly, the card must be able to integrate into a video conferencing system. Now, one of the reasons why this works so well and it goes on autopilot is because you need to be able to have all that done without you having to physically do anything. What you need to be able to do is show up for the appointment whenever that is. The system should be in the card, connected to a system, should be able to take care of all of that for you. So the card must be able to integrate into your video conferencing. The card also must have a built-in survey and application. Being able to do surveys and applications and have that built into your card is a must for any of these strategies that we just talked about. Another thing, the card must integrate into a lead conversion system, meaning once you get that lead or that prospect into a survey, they get on your calendar, they need to go right into a lead conversion system to be able to convert those leads into sales. Because just because they get on your calendar doesn't mean they're automatically a sale. You have to put them in a process, you have to put them in a pipeline. Card must be able to do that. Card also must be able to reroute unqualified prospects. This is huge. I mentioned it just a moment ago in one of the strategies. You have to be able to reroute unqualified prospects. If someone's unqualified, you need to be able to find that out before you start investing time. It doesn't mean you discard them, but you have to reroute them. Notice what it says. It says reroute. It doesn't say discard. You take them to another offer that doesn't require your time if they're not qualified, because they may become qualified soon. Maybe you can help them get qualified through the place you reroute them to. And most importantly of all of these things is that all of this needs to be able to be done on autopilot. All right. Based on that, here's something I'd like to show you, with your permission, of course. And that is, we do have a card that does all of that. And that site is eBizCard.us, and it is called the eBizCard. Now, the eBizCard is basically what you see on the screen. It's been part of our sample that we've been using this entire time for going through these strategies. Now, this eBizCard is very simple. It's very elegant. It has very powerful tools that work behind it. As you can see, all the hot buttons at the bottom for phone call, text messaging, email, a website, Facebook, and LinkedIn integration right on the card. If you want those buttons there, they can be there. If you don't want them there, they don't have to be. You have the two big buttons for any of those things I just mentioned, in addition to surveys and applications and calendar appointments and so on. So with the eBizCard, what does that mean? Okay, so we have a card that does all that. Well, what does it do? Well, some of the things that it does, it makes your card shareable without needing an app or any kind of special software. Very easily done. It also integrates into your Google Calendar, something that's very, very important these days, being able to keep your appointments from overlapping on top of each other. It also integrates with your Zoom video conferencing. If you do not use Zoom, I highly recommend it. If you're a business person or you're a sales rep and you do any kind of independent sales or a sales agent, I highly recommend using Zoom video conferencing. It's not very expensive. I know a lot of people use Skype, and Skype still can be used. Zoom gives you so many more business tools that really make it incredible to use. I use it almost every day. So also, this card has a built-in survey and application that's built into the software. It's not some separate software piece that you have to integrate some kind of way and they have trouble talking to each other and those kinds of things. It is built into the system, a survey and application. Someone needs to fill out an application for your service, or if you want to have them fill out a survey so you can determine what your marketplace really desires, or you're trying to qualify an appointment before someone gets on your calendar. All of this is done inside the software. It's all part of the back end of this electronic business card. In addition to that, it integrates into a lead conversion system with a pipeline that allows you to take people step by step through your sales process. If you don't have a sales pipeline in place and you do one-to-one sales, or you have to talk to someone in order to get work done or in order to get a sale completed, you need a pipeline system. Now, there are a lot of pipeline softwares on the market. There's a bunch of them. Some of them are even free. A few of them are relatively inexpensive. But you have to integrate that into other things in order for it to work. And it doesn't necessarily, the ones that I've seen, they don't necessarily integrate very well. This, however, integrates seamlessly because it's all part of the same platform. Also, you need to be able to qualify prospects automatically. As I mentioned a few times already, this system will allow you to qualify prospects before they get on your calendar. How awesome is that? If you don't understand the value of being able to, instead of having 10 appointments on your calendar and 5 of them should have never been on your calendar, that really means you only did 5 appointments that week. What if you had all 10 of your appointments that week being qualified appointments as opposed to only 5 of them out of the 10? Well, that doubles your income, right? It's a powerful, powerful aspect to this electronic business card. And guess what? It does all of that virtually on complete autopilot. Now, you may say, Roscoe, this sounds really, really awesome. And folks, believe me, it is. One other thing I'd like to show you. This eBizCard is part of a larger program that we have in place. It's called the Business Growth Titan System. And this is our system that we have with Speckle, which is the company that I am the co-founder of. And we have a Business Growth Titan system that we have set up. And as you can see, it goes from A to B. And the eBizCard fits right into this lead capture velocity module within that program. So eBizCard is part of a bigger and larger growth system for your business. So if you want to get more information on the eBizCard specifically, maybe you just want to start with the eBizCard and all the features that come with that. There's a ton of other features that are available with the eBizCard that I didn't want to get into on this video because this video would wind up being much longer than it is already. But if you're interested in finding out more information, all you have to do is click the button that's on this page with this video, and it'll take you to the next step on how you get more information on how you can get an eBizCard and even find out more about our Business Growth Titan system. In addition to that, we have a webinar that we are going to be doing live, and you will see the information for that webinar also either on this page or after you click the button. It'll take you to some other information to get into this free business growth webinar that is going to be phenomenal if you are in a place where you want to grow your business. If you're a sales agent, you're a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business, this would be ideal for you with this free business growth webinar. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I so appreciate you being part of this video and watching this video today. And I look forward to speaking with you really soon in one of our webinars or actually in one of our programs. Thank you so much. Take care.